Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're talking about the indie game, The Plucky Squire. This game came out last year, I believe, and I've only recently just gotten to playing it, and it's not a particularly long game, but it is a very, very cool game, for sure. Now, this game is in two halves, so you'll see I'm inside of a book. So you get this really nice art style and this sort of top-down Zelda-esque vibe going on here. There we go. So I think that's weird. I've ended up... I don't have that ability in this chapter because I'm replaying a chapter. Anyway, the game is set inside a book. You play as the aforementioned the Plucky Squire. That's me. And the game is played from a top-down view here. But the game also... it's a 3D game, and this is one of the coolest things about this game. It's one of the appeals to it is the fact that it is a game that's set inside a book and is outside of a book. The reason why I'm doing a fairly early chapter is I don't really want to spoil too much for a lot of people. So what we're doing here is I just want to show off this chapter. This is a very short chapter, so you've got an idea. This game is pretty cool. Like, you're sat on somebody's table and you can roll around and run around. This table changes as you play the game. You can go off and explore different things. You can also fall off the table like that, which you don't really want to do. But yeah, it's what's one of the coolest things is this idea of flipping perspective, essentially. And you do that a lot in the game. You come outside of the book and you find that the guy that reading the book is a aspiring writer, and essentially like he's very inspired by this book. And there's lots of shenanigans happening. Lots of things going on that you are having to deal with. You can just go and explore to a degree. I don't know how far you can go while there's nothing on. Ooh, I don't think we can... can't make that jump. But yeah, so the idea is that you come outside of the book, and when you come outside of the book, you can find things in the overworld here. You can also manipulate the book, which is what we're about to do. So, Moonbeard, our friend here, has asked for a drink. So this is the first time you kind of really get to like use this. This is what's fun. You get to turn pages. We're just gonna go and jump into his house. And so it's a cool concept. The game itself, I would say, is no more than, at most, is about like 8 hours long. It's not a very long game, which is absolutely fine. It doesn't need to be a long game. Oh, I found a little dude. Can't remember what those are for. But yeah, there's secrets in around this game. There are things to unlock. But as you can see, this is a really nice art style. That makes the... oh, look, hello. And there's another thing to collect. Probably the very first one that I missed. And you get to unlock these, buy these throughout the game. And these are related to what the devs have said. Hey, here's sketches of this. This is how we're doing it. You can see there's a ton of stuff here. Plenty to unlock, which is cool. But, yeah, it's a game of two halves. It has you play in the storybook thing, which is much Zelda-y, very puzzle heavy. And then when you're in the 3D world, you've got like a similar sort of gameplay. It's just you've now got more than just up, down, left, right. You've kind of got full 360-degree movement and things coming up from different directions. When you're outside here, you can affect the book. You can affect the book in other ways later on as well, which is what's really cool about it. And it's just a very pleasant game. Like, it's something that I'm really glad I played. I really had a good time with. Now, I'm playing this on Switch 2. There is no, to my knowledge, there is no Switch 2 version. But what I have noticed is that the game does struggle when you are outside of the book, specifically. So if I'm outside doing the big levels where you actually do have to run around the desk and go up towers and all sorts of stuff, the game struggles. And that can be kind of jarring because it properly hangs for like about half a second. It's very noticeable, and it's the biggest downside to this version. Obviously, there's no update for it. If it was a native Switch 2 version, I think that stuff would be ironed out. But because it's a Switch 1 game, and obviously the Switch 2 can only do so much, it's something to do with, I think, how things are being rendered. And unfortunately, it does put a downer on the entire experience, because other than that, this is one of the cutest and nicest, like, and well-paced indie games I've ever played. It is a very decent experience. It's not a long experience. I will show you, like, there's not that many chapters. Like, they do vary in length. Some are longer than others. The game also does have like mini games and other types of gameplay in it. You've got like a defender style gameplay. You've got like a bubble style gameplay in here. You have a rhythm game, different things. Not all of these are made equal. Some of them don't work that well, if I'm honest. Game does give you the option to skip the mini games though, which is cool. And yeah, it's a whatever these guys set out to do, I think they achieved and nailed it as best as they could, and they've done a very good job of creating not only a lovely art style, like storybook art style, but this 3D world. I love it, the switching between it. I think it's super cool. It's definitely a game that I recommend people play. It's hard because I can't show too much. Obviously, I want to show some gameplay, but I don't want to show too much because there's a story to be enjoyed there. Well, I should have been paying attention as to what I'm meant to be doing. But yeah, it's something that is just, I think, is one of those games where it's like, I think people are really going to enjoy. Can I flip it the other way? Ah, yes. Oh yeah, I'm not meant to have my sword at this point. So these guys don't realise that I'm outside of the book at the moment. But I'll jump back in the book. We're going to hopefully see a little bit of gameplay. Maybe. Hi guys. I've got my sword, and yet my sword is also there. And it's a very cute story. Like, it's you and your friends. It's like friends helping each other out along the way, and you know, doing all that sort of going on. The writing's very silly as well. I will give them the credit is that the writing for this game, that's why I don't want to spoil too much beyond this chapter, is that, like, it is funny. There's a narrator as well. I don't know if we'll see him. We might do in a sec. The narrator's hilarious because he is telling the story and he says some funny things and does some weird things, and it's just like the whole game has a level of charm to it that I think is just what kind of pushes it into that really recommend territory. It's a short game, like I said, about 8 hours at most, with fun dialogue, fun game. The puzzles aren't too difficult. There's a mixture of puzzles, so they're not all the same, which is great. And I think overall this is a game that people should try out if you haven't already. If you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. You know that the game is fun. It's just a fun game. It's not even that difficult. The fact that you can also, like I said, skip the mini games. Let's get my sword back that I already have. Oh. There we go. Now I've got another sword. Looks identical to the one that I had. Can I do my spin? There we go. I can do my spin now. So it wouldn't let me do that a minute ago for some reason. But so I've got loads of upgrades. Let's see if we can get the narrator to talk. Yeah, here we go.
And so our heroes set off to Artia City to visit the good Queen Crona.
He gets more erratic as time goes on. So that's just me replaying one of the chapters. If I go to chapter select here. Ooh, where are we? Chapter replay. There are 10 chapters. Alright, so, and they do vary in length. Like the first one is very, very basic, straightforward. And then they go from there. But each and every one, like, they're very cute. It's very fun. Like I said, I can't say too much more in the game because I really am just gonna spoil it. But like, I do recommend that if this is a game, go and watch the trailers for it. If you're into a sort of Zelda style game that has combat and puzzles, isn't too difficult, and the game even gives you the option to skip the mini games if you're struggling with them, this is definitely something that's worth checking out. I think it should be lauded more than maybe it was. I know a lot of people were a little bit disappointed with the performance when it came out, especially on Switch, because it doesn't run the best at sometimes, especially in those overworld sections. But I think it's one of those games that should be held up there with some of the others on those pedestals, because I think this is a really tight experience. As you can see, look how many 4,664 minutes. I'm not sure what that converts to in hours, but that gives you like how long it took me to beat. I really liked it. I sat and played through most of it in a couple of sessions, so I do recommend it. I think I picked it up. I got this on sale for £10. I think it's normally about, it's either £20 or £30 normally. I think 20 quid is a good price for this, £20, £25. I think anything more than that for this length of it is a little bit too much. But if it goes on sale and you see it for £20 or less, this is a good bargain. You're going to have a fun time with this. You're going to get that Zelda experience. You're going to get puzzles that aren't that complicated, but still will test you, and they're clever puzzles. The game's good. The game is really solid, and I think for the beautiful art style that it has inside the book, and the fact that you transition and can manipulate the book in and out of it, and it breaks the fourth wall a lot, I think it's a really good experience, and I do recommend it if you're looking for a smaller experience by a smaller studio. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Switch 2 stuff, or just more indie games or any of that coming down the line, because they're always on the cards. And until next video, I will see you then.